Hello, happy holiday to you. Thank you for joining us on CoreTV News this hour. I am Nifemi Oguntoye. Two female suicide bombers on Monday struck in the Kano metropolis. The first one detonated the explosives at the NNPC mega station, killing herself and three others. The police said in a statement that the bomber slipped into a crowd buying kerosene before blowing herself up about 10 in the morning. The second blast happened around 1:45 in the afternoon near ShopRite Mall along Zoo Road. The police said it was also detonated by a female bomber who died on the spot without achieving her aim of bombing the mall. Security cordoned around the trade fair complex and the mall were believed to have made her detonate the bomb right outside her target. The police said in an intensive patrol of the city and in the aftermath of the fourth bomb in the city, that's in the last 24 hours. Muslims in Nigeria joined millions of their counterparts in other parts of the world to mark the end of the 30 days Ramadan fast. Omotayo Alo monitored the Eid celebration in Lagos.
The atmosphere was filled with cheerfulness as Muslims gathered at the Al-Muiz praying ground in Omoliogba to express gratitude to God for a successful observation of the holy month of Ramadan. Selmo spoke to CoreTV News at the prayer ground, saying Nigeria would surely overcome the crisis inflicted on it by Boko Haram.
It doesn't mean that Ramadan has come to an end, we should not pray. It doesn't mean we should not give alms. It doesn't mean we should not do good. So we continue to do all those things that Ramadan has taught us. We move away from bad things, corrupt things, evil things, so that God can answer Nigeria's prayer.
Everything that causes insecurity, Allah will just give us His mercy and then reduce it for us, or even wipe it away completely all over the world. We pray that He will give mercy.
The issue of pressure we are getting in this country today, we are prayed over it and God has answered our prayer. And we pray to God Almighty to give us more peace and a rest of mind in this country.
They encourage Muslims to continue in the lessons learned during the Ramadan. They advise Nigerians to exhibit tolerance and coexist peacefully so as to make the country habitable for all. Omotayo Alo, CoreTV News, Lagos.
While celebrating the 2014 Eid al-Fitr, Muslim clerics urged followers to promote peace and progress of the nation. Oluwaseyi Adegoke was at the Eid al-Fitr service of the Nasrullahi Faith Islamic Organization. A report is presented from our studios.
The service had in attendance dignitaries across Lagos State. The Nasrullahi Fati Missioner Abdullahi Gbade Akimbode, who gave the sermon, condemned the attacks perpetrated by Boko Haram, saying it is against Islamic doctrine.
My religion teaches peace, and I must be peaceful with you. If you now see people now, in one name, in the name of any association, they are now claiming to fighting for Allah. No, it is not God they are fighting for. You cannot achieve illegality. You cannot achieve legality from illegality. Illegality can never beget legality. Unlawfulness can never produce lawfulness. What is impure can never produce what is purity. Impurity cannot beget purity. Illegality cannot produce legality. You cannot achieve what is right from what is wrong. It is when you do it right that you get it right. It is when you are peaceful that you receive peace, that you live in the environment of peace. So it can never be Islam, and it will never be Islam.
The National Publicity Secretary of the All Progressive Congress, Lai Mohammed, also urged Muslims to stand up to correct the bad name that insurgents have given the religion.
The misinterpretation and misunderstanding of Islam, both by the faithfuls, the adherents, and by some people who are deliberately exploiting the Boko Haram insurgency for personal and political gains. Now, Islam, like the Imam said, is a religion of peace and tolerance. the fact that we have some fringe Muslims who, for reasons of their own, decided to paint Islam in an unfavorable color, I think is enough reason for all of us Muslims to stand up and let people know exactly what we stand for.
In a statement, National President of the Nasrullah Party Society of Nigeria, Sharif Yusuf, and the National Women Affairs Secretary, Nofisat Arobundade, say Islam is against the killing of innocent lives.
Insecurity is a sign of end time, one of the signs of end time. When people engage in certain actions without any rationality, there is no known motive, no apparent justification for the widespread insecurity that we're seeing in the country. A lot of people had the misconception initially to say, these are jihadists, these are Muslims that are fighting to Islamize the country. But a lot of those that were propagating that have seen better. They've known better because the killings have no discrimination.
We should continue to pray and seek for peace and progress of this nation, Nigeria. That is one of the responsibility of every good Muslim, and that is what we should do till the next Ramadan, so that all we have done, our fasting during this period, will not be in vain.
The messages delivered at the Eid of Prayers centered on peace and the promotion of justice.
As Muslims across the world celebrate Eid al-Fitr, which marks the end of Ramadan, the Chief Imam of Oshogbo and Governor Rauf Aregbesola led Muslims to this year's Eid prayer. The message was national unity and peaceful conduct of the forthcoming August 9 governorship election.
With the completion of 30 days mandatory fasting for Muslims, the celebration of Eid al-Fitr is sacrosanct to thank Allah for the success of the holy month. Muslims arrived at the prayer ground in their numbers to participate in the Eid prayers. The Chief Imam of Oshogbo, Mustafa Ajishafe, led the Eid prayers. Muslims who participated in the prayers expressed thanks to Allah for sparing their lives throughout the month of Ramadan. They expressed hope that the nation will experience peace and prosperity in the years ahead.
And we thank God for the life of every Muslim in the country. And what we are experiencing in the north, we pray God in His infinite mercy to come to our aid. We pray that at the end of the day, peace will reign.
Paying attention to the forthcoming election in Osun State, a chieftain of the All Progressives Congress, Bayo Salam, admonishes Osun people to eschew violence. He also advised them to stand firm on their choice while discharging their civic responsibilities.
In another 13 days, we are going to have an elections in Osun State. We expected every Osun indigene to be peaceful in their conduct and at the same time to come and exercise their civic right. There won't be any intimidation. Security agents, they are just coming to protect our votes. Everybody should come out in large turnout to cast their votes for candidates of their.
Governor Rauf Aregbesola seized the moment by laying out expectations towards the August 9 governorship election.
All Nigerians of whatever faith must imbibe the attributes of tolerance, perseverance, endurance, and forbearance. Those are the things we need now to guarantee security, peace, and stability that will make us to be productive as to the election and believing absolutely in God and the overwhelming support of the people to be triumphant in the election.
Muslims across the world celebrate Eid al-Fitr, which marks the end of Ramadan. It is expected that the lesson of love, mercy, and tolerance imbibed in Ramadan will be extended after it by Muslims and non-Muslims alike, particularly in Nigeria, where these virtues are in great need. Rashid, CoreTV News, Oshogbo.
Meanwhile, Lagos State Governor Babatunde Fashola has sought the cooperation of all Nigerians in finding lasting solutions to the challenges confronting the country, saying only Nigerians can take it out of the despair. In a solemn message to the people, the governor said it is only by embracing peace, unity and fairness that Nigerians can put the country back on its leadership pedestal, and urged them to embrace the spirit of love, tolerance, forgiveness and brotherhood preached by Islam and other religions. Fashola says that the country, with all its potentials, has no business with poverty if only its citizens can join hands to give it the right focus. He called on Nigerians to cooperate and stamp out intolerance, discrimination, cheating, violence, disobedience to the law, and other ills from the system. He implored the people to celebrate the Eid al-Fitr with moderation and in the fullness of the spirit of Ramadan, which encourages peace, sharing, brotherhood, kindness, and fairness, and urged them to keep up with those virtues that they have gained in the holy month. President Goodluck Jonathan has admitted that Nigeria would have been in turmoil if former head of state Muhammadu Buhari and prominent Islamic cleric Dahiru Bauchi had died during separate bomb attacks in Kaduna. A spokesman Vice President Namadi Sambo led members of the Muslim community to pay him the traditional Salah homage at the presidential villa, Abuja. The president noted that it would have been impossible to celebrate Eid al-Fitr peacefully if both men had not escaped unhurt.
Not too long ago, we had these dastardly bomb attacks in Kano and Kaduna. We stand to condemn these acts of terror on our people and express our condolences and empathy to the bereaved and the people that have been injured. The recent attack in Kaduna, especially where Sheikh Dahiru Bashi was a target, and General Muhammad Buhari was also a target. You can imagine if these two people had died in those attacks. Sheikh Dahiru Bashi is one of our top Islamic preachers. He has millions as followers. Muhammad Buhari, former head of state, a leading political figure, has massive supporters. And the same day, people wanted to kill them. These are clearly, those who planned this attack and executed it are clearly the sons of the devil. Because if they have killed these two people, we couldn't have been here today. This country would have been in turmoil.
Allah will grant us this fortitude to remove these evils in this country and to make Nigerians, all of us, our brothers keepers, to allow peace, tranquility, and progress in Nigeria and for the achievement of our transformation agenda.
The General Overseer of the Latter Rain Assembly and convener of the Save Nigeria Group, Tunde Bakari, says that the July 23 attack on Muhammadu Buhari would have led to the disintegration of Nigeria had he succeeded. Bakari, who was the running mate to Buhari in the 2011 presidential election, said the northern youths who revere Buhari would have resulted to mayhem, and this would have led to reprisals across the nation. He added that the attack should have made it clear to all that Buhari was not a Boko Haram sympathizer. He added that all the factors contributing to the menace were failure of intelligence, palpable government, incompetence, sinful silence of stakeholders, as well as international conspiracy.
Listen, if Buhari had died, we would be in such a trouble that I will not be able to explain. Nobody will remember that an emir was killed by terrorists. Nobody will remember that General Shuma was killed by terrorists. Nobody will remember that the former emir of Kano, Adobaro, was shot by terrorists. They would just go to town, and then those in the south will begin to retaliate against their people killed in the north. It will be north burning, south burning. God deliver this nation from an inferno.
Before paying homage to the president, the vice president and others have joined all the Muslims in the Federal Capital Territory at the Eid ground. The prayers were led by Chief Imam of the National Mosque, Musa Mohammed. Speaking with journalists after the prayers, Vice President Sambo said Nigeria needs sustained prayer for national unity.
My message to Nigerians is to seek for our continued cooperation, to be our brothers' keepers, to cooperate and ensure that we have peace in Nigeria, cooperate with the administration of our president, and support our transformation agenda. Support everyone, support all Nigerians so that we shall both participate in ensuring that the challenges we have for development and achieve, the challenges of security, we all put our hands together to ensure that we fight all the evils of Boko Haram and all other vices in this country.
Thousands of Muslims on Sunday turned out in Kano for the Eid al-Fitr prayer in spite of the security challenge. The annual tradition at Durbar was however called up even though security was beefed up in many parts of the city. At Kano Central Eid Ground, Muhammadu Sanusi II led a prayer session which centered on peaceful coexistence in the country. Meanwhile, the police in Kano have arrested 5 male suspects for the complicity in various bomb attacks in the Asian city, including Sunday's bomb blast at St. Charles Catholic Church, in which at least 5 people were killed and 8 were injured. 2 of the suspects were arrested in connection with the 4th bomb attack at Isyaku Rabiu Mosque. According to a statement from the force public relations officer Frank Mba, the Mba said that the attack on the church came shortly after the end of the mass, when the suspects were believed to have thrown improvised explosive devices at the church located in Sabongeri area of the Asian city. An improvised explosive device that went off at the New Road Motor Park in Kano last Thursday had killed 5 persons and injured 8 others, barely 24 hours after twin blasts claimed about 82 lives in Kaduna. The source of the blast was traced to an IED which was hidden in the refrigerator and smuggled into the park by a cat pusher. Eyewitnesses say the cat pusher was able to beat security at the motor gate because he packaged the refrigerator like a passenger luggage. The deputy chairman of the Lagos chapter of the People's Democratic Party, Ola Akpeno, said the party's victory in the last Ekiti governorship election is a sign of more victories to come. Olajumoke Olatunji has more in this report.
The People's Democratic Party's victory in the Ekiti governorship election is still generating debate. The PDP camp in Lagos says policy of the defeated Governor Kayode Fayemi contributed to his fall. The party ordered that the inspiration drawn from the Ekiti experience will assist in its bid to capture Lagos. Deputy Chairman of the Lagos PDP, Ola Akpeno, says APC leaders have failed and he has all assurances that the people of the state will vote massively for the party just as they did in Ekiti State.
The government that has been in power since 1999 in Lagos State, represented by AD, metamorphosing to ACD, ACN, AC, and eventually APC, is seriously disconnected from the people, because most of their policies are anti-people. These are policies that doesn't deliver anything on the table of the masses. Take it from education to health to housing. There's nothing for them to showcase as addressing the core problem of the people. So come 2015, I'm more than confident that if we get it right in terms of fielding a very acceptable candidate to Lagosians, victory is assured.
Lagos PDP secretary says the party is ready to take over the entire southwest, starting with Ekiti, also vowing that Lagos will not be an exemption.
Well, before Ekiti victory, there has always been signs that Lagos might vote against APC, and the signs are as follows. The Lagos government have become so insensitive to the feelings of the people of Lagos, to the extent that they have arbitrarily increased the tuition, the tuition in LASU. The market people too, they were crying. They are not happy with the government. The LASMA people, their behavior along the road is nothing to write home about. The land use charges, where landlords are being billed exorbitantly, they have moved so far away from the mainstream. They don't care about the feelings of the ordinary Lagosian. And the reason for all these things is that they know all along that the people vote has never been counted. They have always been used to fraud, manipulation, stuffing of ballot boxes, you know, compromising the system to win. That is why they are so insensitive to all these things they are doing to the masses. And Ekiti election is a very good case in point. When all their leakages, all their fraudulent practices were curtailed, and they allowed the real election to be counted, you could see that they were defeated in all the 16 local governments.
In a rally held recently in Lagos, Governor-elect of Ekiti State, Ayo Fayose, urged residents of the state to vote massively for a change in the 2015 elections. Olajumoke Olatunji, CoreTV News League.
The Ogun State Police Command has deployed more than 4,000 officers for the Eid al-Fitr celebration. According to the State Police Public Relations Officer Muyiwa Adejabi, the personnel are drawn from almost all police formations in Ogun. They're deployed to major places including worship centers, expressways, recreation centers, among others, for adequate protection of lives and property during the celebration. He said the deployment was contained in the operation order prepared and signed on behalf of the Commissioner of Police, Ikemefuna Okoye, by the Deputy Commissioner of Police in charge of the Department of Operations, Agberebi Akwebi. He added that all area commanders, division of police officers, and heads of departments in the state have been directed to be on their toes to ensure a crime-free celebration. You're watching CoreTV News on the hour. I'll be back with more stories shortly after this break.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime News.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then News. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
Welcome back. Outside Nigeria now, the United Nations say the downing of Malaysian airliner MH17 may constitute a war crime, as explosions and fighting blocked a new attempt by Dutch and Australian police to reach the crash site in insurgent-held East Ukraine. The unarmed international mission was forced to turn around as heavy bombardment rocked towns close to the site, where the remains of some of the 298 victims still lie more than 10 days after the disaster. Ukraine's military confirmed that its forces were engaged in fierce battles against rebels nearby. UN High Commissioner for Human Rights Nevi Pillay condemned the shooting down of the Malaysian passenger jet and demanded a thorough, effective, independent and impartial investigation.
It is our primary concern vis-à-vis the well-being of our colleagues, both international and national, that are operating, especially in the Donetsk and Kharkiv areas. It is a dangerous situation. We may have to relocate them. We may not be able to have access to certain areas where we would like to be. And of course, security consideration will also guide what we will be able to see and report on at any given time. We do not want to take any unnecessary risk and put our colleagues in a very difficult situation. Civilians that are not involved in the fighting may be kept as human shield or held hostage and been caught in the crossfire where the security operation and the activities of these armed groups confront each other. There are also indications in our report of large numbers still of individuals abducted. Those are politicians, journalists, students, and normal individuals from the East by the armed groups for a variety of reasons, including extortion or in order to have access to property or compelling them to do things that the armed groups wants them to do.
And that wraps it this hour. I'll be back at 9:45 with the primetime news for more up-to-date and comprehensive stories. I'm Nifemi Oguntoye. Thanks for being there.